Hi guys, welcome to another video. Today on the channel I'm going to be sharing 2 sketchbook tours. These are handmade and they were made for my art retreat that I ran a few weeks ago. I've now completed both of them and I thought you'd like to have a look inside. If you're new here, my name is Mel Chadwick. I'm an illustrator and artist living in rural Cornwall. Throughout the month I make an effort to get outside to sketch, explore and draw from life. I document this through taking photos, videos, podcasts and writings that I share regularly here on YouTube and Substack. If you're interested in finding out more about me or just seeing the type of things that I do, please just check the description for more links, and thanks for following along. So we're going to start with this one. It was made and completed on the 18th of April, and I've written here Lizard Point because all of these sketches were done on location around that area. This is from recycled packaging that I think was actually Amazon, and then I've also used it to paint on top of to protect the table. So it is all spontaneous markings on the front and back. And then inside I used brown sugar paper and folded it from one sheet of paper and then glued the packaging to make a front and back cover. So let's have a look inside. So I'm going to do a flick through without talking, and then we'll look through again and I'll do a little chat. So as I said, this was created on location. It was created on the 18th of April and I used a limited colour palette. I used 2 light new colours, 1 mid colour which is the orange, and then 1 dark. I think it's raw umber. And I was really exploring the use of value. Not looking at the colours in the environment, but just looking at the dark and the light areas. I really enjoyed working in this way. I particularly enjoyed this spread as I went for a long view and used 4 panels rather than 2. I also really enjoyed using the brown paper as the mid-tone and letting that come through and at points. That is of the boats and the rocks. The fishermen, there were a couple of fishermen out and one of them was sailing back to shore. I thought it would be good to just capture that. I really enjoyed sketching the old buildings. There were a couple of old lifeboat buildings that were derelict, gradually falling apart, being reclaimed by the sea. Just looking at the dark and the light areas. This is the shoreline and the cliffs. And that's it. Just a really simple book. And it was really nice to use. You could just put it in the palm of your hand. I used a clip And then when that clip is in place, it's actually quite firm and you can press on it, and it's very sturdy when you can then draw on it like this. So I drew standing up, I drew sitting, just could have it balanced in my hands and not worry. It wasn't heavy, really lightweight, so a great way to work. I think I put my colours that I used here, so you can see I just used dark, 2 lights and a mid. They're near colours. I also liked that they were crayons that I was using, so it forced me to work looking at the bigger shapes, not worrying about really small details. Although I did try to add, say, like the fence wire here and a bit of the shadow, but it still forced you to kind of look at the bigger shapes rather than get too engrossed in the details. So that was really fun to do. And then my second sketchbook is exactly the same in terms of how I made it, but it's just a little bit bigger. So I think I started with an A2 piece. And this time I used a white watercolour paper, 200 GSM. And yeah, a lot thicker than the brown sugar paper. This was made as well, you look at the dates, started on the 25th of April and then finished on the 8th of May, just a couple of days ago. And it was all based around Cathilian Cove. And again, I'll do a quick flip through quietly. So this time the paper was painted, pre-painted, and then I made the sketchbook from that pre-painted page, stuck on the front and the back cover, and then worked in Neocolours and a couple of coloured pencils, but I kept my colour palette the same throughout the whole of this book. Again, it was created in preparation for my art retreat, and some of these I created before the art retreat, so this one and this one. I really love the marks here coming through, kind of giving the idea of a sky with a sunset. And then this one was created whilst the art retreat was running, because I took them down to this area. We're really thinking about, again, dark and light areas. That's my favourite scene, looking up towards the house on the hill with our back towards the sea. I really like the blue sky, the contrast with the yellow background. And also this area being a bit looser, letting that bit not be so detailed. And this piece, you can see I definitely let the background do most of the work. But I do like the sky again. I was looking at the negative shape here and then letting the texture come through. and then putting some details on, so like these steps. I really wanted to highlight the steps, so that's why I didn't do too much detail. And then this scene I drew with Crixus, and I was focusing on the island, Asparagus Island, that was in the distance. What was unusual was that it was a lot darker than the foreground, so this is unusual because you normally think in the background you have your lightest, whereas this time the background was darker. So I want your eye to go here. Your eye generally does go to the darker areas, so almost you're skipping over the foreground and going to the background. And then the final spread, which was done over 4 panels, making real use of this background here. It kind of reminded me of the sea, and so I thought this landscape fitted really well. So I haven't really done much here, I've just let the background work, and then here I've put a lot more textures and shapes and trying to get that cliff edge. This was also fun because obviously I was drawing next to Crixus, and what we didn't realise was that she was actually drawing the landscape just to the left of me. We were both sitting side by side, but we didn't really talk about what we would be looking at and drawing. And then near the end of our time drawing, we looked at each other's sketches and realised that we had actually just drawn the scene, but we hadn't replicated it. So when we put her sketchbook down next to mine, it fitted really well. I'll put some footage here so you can see how that looks. There was also a boat that suddenly appeared on the horizon, and this was like a super quick sketch just to add the boat in. But yeah, it was really enjoyable to finish the sketchbook with Crixus. So that is my mini sketchbook tour of my 2 handmade books. I'm going to be sharing how I make these books in my Substack. If you want to find out how to make them, do hop over to my Substack page. The post won't be ready until the beginning of June. If you sign up now, you'll be able to watch the other videos that I have there, read the other posts about sketching. It's all based on sketching on location and gives you tips, it gives you advice, things that I talk about, things that I struggle with, and then I also share these process and play videos. So I kind of look at a technique that I'm enjoying using, and then I kind of look at it in a bit more depth and I walk you through how I do it. So yeah, I'm going to do for my next process and play video how I make these sketchbooks. So if you're interested, I'll put all the links in the description. It's a great way to support the channel here. You can pay on a monthly basis or you can sign up for a year. Anyway, thank you so much guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little look and it's inspired you in some way, and I'll speak to you again really soon.
Okay, I'm recording now. So this is the snail Mel has on her backpack.
We've been here so long.
Found a hen. Got a stowaway. Probably thinking, I want to get off. Get off.
A little bit on shadow.
Yeah, there we go.
Can we see the view? I think I lost it. Where is it? Oh, okay, it's here.